Jonathan Wachtel joins us. He has had a varied career all over diplomacy and journalism, former communications director for the U.S. mission to the United Nations, and now managing director of an organization called Greater Good Associates. It's good to see you, Jonathan. You've worked in that region covering it as a journalist. You've worked in diplomacy, and you really have a terrific perspective looking in from the outside. I want to cover as much ground as we can. First, just general observations on what's happening there now. I asked the IDF spokesperson about an all-out ground invasion. I know they're trying to avoid it, but that looks like almost inevitable. Is that fair?
It is fair to look at it that way. It's not surprising it's taken this long for the Israelis to ratchet up their presence in Gaza. It also is not surprising that there are some forces, special operations forces, operating on the ground ahead of any in advance of any full incursion that would take place. They've got to figure out what's going on. They've got 150 Israeli citizens held captive in the Strip, presumably, unless they've been ferried out.
Yes.
They got to figure out where these multitude of tunnels are, where the fighting is, to make sure that when the troops would go in, they're not going to be ambushed, hit booby traps, blown up with improvised explosion devices, all the sort of thing that you can possibly imagine they would encounter.
The Israelis have also talked to us, they did today, about trying to operate by the rules of armed conflict, unlike what Hamas has been doing, they say, and that's why they say they ordered these evacuations today. I want to talk a little bit, and we have it on the maps that are coming up behind us, but I want to talk a little bit about the evacuations that are coming out of this general area, again in the north, which is shaded in the red color. Everybody, there's about 1 million people up there, are supposed to move down to the southern part of the country. It brings up a larger question about where they go, because the border crossings from Gaza moving into Israel. So I'll just draw it here on the map. The Israeli border, which comes down here, probably 30-some miles, maybe. I don't know if that's, I think
that's actually longer than.
Yeah, a little bit longer than that, but a much shorter crossing at the bottom where Gaza goes into Egypt. That's a lot of talk about this so-called Rafah crossing. That's closed. So there's nowhere for these people to go. I mean, what's your thoughts on whether we might see some sort of a humanitarian corridor opened up down there?
Talks are ongoing right now with the Egyptians, who control the Rafah crossing point, as to what Egypt can do to open that up. You can't expect the Israelis at this point, when they've had Hamas fighters cross over and slaughter their people in mass numbers, and still some of them presumably running about. You can't expect the Israelis in such a situation, also on a war footing with Hamas and Hezbollah in the north and other concerns that they're watching very carefully, to suddenly decide to help with a humanitarian operation into Gaza, where essentially their enemy is sitting. So yes, all eyes are on Egypt, but Egypt itself has had this ongoing problem over the last years, and it hasn't risen to the headlines in papers and news organizations, but they've been battling insurgents, Islamist militants in the northern Sinai, who have killed a lot of civilians, a lot of policemen, a lot of soldiers, managed to kind of squash that, but it's there. And that insurgency is largely led by groups that at one point they called themselves ISIS. They're very connected to the Muslim Brotherhood. Hamas was given birth out of the Muslim Brotherhood. So there's an alignment in terms of ideology, and the Egyptians have accused Hamas of aiding and abetting these very Egyptian militants who are operating in the Sinai. So it's extremely sensitive and difficult for the Egyptians.
So how do you think it will all play out, assuming that border crossing does not open? The people of Gaza remain in there. The Israeli military moves in a big way. I've heard comparisons, I don't know if they're fair or not, but comparisons, you brought up ISIS, to what the United States and the coalition were doing in Iraq and places like Mosul and Fallujah and Ramadi. Is that what this will look like in the coming days, this terrible urban warfare?
It really could turn into that. The Israelis want to get the civilian population, the ones they don't want to kill. They don't want to kill they don't want that collateral damage to happen. They want to clear them out. They're giving them heads up. At the same time, there's a limited time span for them, because they've got Israeli citizens held in the Strip. They've got rockets raining down in the country, and the longer they continue to do this, the body count is likely to rise. Plus, you've got other concerns. The Israelis want to strike, so thus the warning. But then again, moving 1 million people in a short time span, people who a lot of them are going to be on foot. To get them down to the south out of direct fire is indeed a tough task.
Yeah, tall order was John Kirby's term at the White House. Tough task, you're right. Jonathan, good to see you, by the way. Thank you for coming in.
Good to see you.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.